These are the Chat City interviews from 103.2 Preston FM.
Right, well, Lancashire Science Festival is happening soon. For 2014, Lancashire Science Festival is back with a bang. This year's theme is Power Up. And to tell us more about it, I've got in the studio Joe Heaton and Jenny Bennion. So a very good morning to you both.
Good morning.
So now, Monday morning and science. Now, if I was still at school, and I know if you look at me, it's only a couple of years ago since I was there. If I'd have been getting up on a Monday morning and I knew I was doing double science at school on a Monday, oh dear. I take it science has changed, and the Science Festival is something that if I got up on a Monday, I would look forward to coming along to see.
Absolutely, yeah. So the Science Festival is looking at the real life science all around us. And I think if at school you could see just how much impact science has on your life, and it isn't just a module that you do in the middle of the day and it's dull, then I think you would have enjoyed it a lot more. So we've got everything from dancing robots through to a cake off. Science is just, it's the broadest possible science, isn't it? We've got a bit of everything.
So is that a real cake-off, or is it a kind of scientific...
It's a science-themed cake-off.
A science-themed cake-off.
Yes.
So bring down your cakes that look like skeletons or erupting volcanoes or anything, as long as we can eat it. Bring it down, and if you're judged the winner... in several of our categories, you can get awesome prizes as well.
Wow. So not only can you come and have fun, you can win prizes. So how long has the Science Festival been happening here in Preston then?
This is the third year. We have been running events like this for some time, but we've really only wrapped it up as a festival since the Guild, which is when we did our first big 3-day event. And we thought that would be it, really. We would do something in 2012 as part of the Preston Guild. But you loved it so much, and we had so much amazing feedback that we thought, well, we'll have to do this again. So in 2013, we just tried a 1-day event, and we got told off for it only being 1 day. So this year we're back with a 3-day festival, and that's how we intend to keep it in future years.
And who is it aimed at?
Basically, it's aimed at everyone. For 2014, the Science Festival is running over 3 days. So it's starting next Thursday, the 26th. That day is for primary school groups to come in. Then the following day, the Friday, is for secondary school groups and colleges. And then Saturday, the 28th, is our general public day. And that's open to absolutely everybody. So anyone who wants to come down, it's a great, really fun day out, but also you're going to find, you might learn kind of new things, find out how kind of science affects all of our lives, but it's all really fun and interactive, and so it's open for absolutely anyone.
And it's completely free,
which is
which we're really pleased about.
Yes,
yeah, we've worked hard on that.
That's always a plus, isn't it? And people listening in, they can actually maybe take a selfie of themselves. So if they do a selfie, which maybe for those who don't know, it's just get the camera out, whether it be on the mobile or wherever, take your photograph, and you could go into the pot to win an iPad mini. Is that right?
Yeah, just take a science selfie, just of you doing anything sciencey, or even just of you enjoying the festival, enjoying the run up to the festival, getting excited. Send it in to us. You can use the hashtag LSFselfie, either on Twitter or Instagram. And the best ones could win an iPad mini.
And might even end up being featured in our publicity next year if we really love them.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yes. Tell us a little then about, because Titan the robot's going to be around. Who is Titan the robot?
Titan's really famous. He's been on tour with Rihanna, and he's been in the Big Brother house as well. So lots of people are familiar with him, and he did come to the festival back in 2012, again backed by popular demand. He's an 8-foot tall dancing, singing robot. He's got jokes. He's quite irreverent. He's quite good fun. He does 3 performances at the festival. You could just turn up and see that and not do anything else, and you'd have a fantastic day out. Kids are a little bit scared of him.
Sometimes. You either get the ones who are scared of him or the ones that just, want to climb on him.
Yeah.
But he's very happy either way.
Yes. And one that caught my eye is Dr. Sarita Robinson and Power Up Your Brain. Something that probably I need most mornings before I come on air. So what's that about?
Well, Sarita's one of our psychologists.
Yes.
She works at the University of Central Lancashire. And she's going to talk about how you can optimise your brain, if you like. So her specialism is survival psychology, and she looks at how you can get peak performance in difficult conditions. So in Power Up Your Brain, she's going to be looking at busting some of the myths around things like, a cup of coffee gets me going in the morning. Does it really, or is that just in your head?
Yes.
And we'll be looking at that, especially with the schools days. There'll be some aspects around revision as it's the exam season, but also some fun facts that you can take home and use yourself.
And in the years now that you've run this, have you been quite surprised by the people that's come along, or maybe the interest that they've shown, or the questions that you've been asked?
We've really found that the audience has built year on year, actually. And, we've been kind of out talking to people. And what's been really great is a number of people who have been just saying, oh, yeah, I came to the Science Festival last year, I absolutely love it. I've told all my friends. So we are finding that it's building. And it's a really wide audience that come along. You don't just have to be a sort of mega science boffin who sits there with your crazy white hair and your white coat. Science is for everyone, and science is all around us.
And as you said, it is, isn't it? We do take it for granted that day in, day out, throughout the day, science is there with us, whether we acknowledge it or not, consciously.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we don't just look at the kind of three science things of biology, chemistry and physics. We're looking at engineering, maths, technology, health. So, these kind of topics are covered right throughout the Science Festival in loads of different, really fun and sort of interactive ways. So you might be kind of surprised at some of the things that do get covered. And, Titan's a great big robot, but we don't get robots without a bit of science behind them. So.
And I suppose a spin-off for this is for children who are coming along, who knows that maybe that will give them the idea, plant the seed that in future years they want to go into science.
Yeah, maybe. What we aim to do with the Science Festival is to inspire and engage. And even if you think, maybe a career in science isn't for you, it still doesn't mean that you can't, come along, maybe find out something new and have a great time. But again, if we could just spark a little bit of interest in someone, then that's all the better.
And in general, in the scientific world, what is the research that goes on at UCLan when it comes to scientific research? Is there quite a lot taking place there?
I don't think we have time in this interview to cover all that. We have got highlights of the research at UCLan as part of the programme. So this year we are trialling a slightly different format with some in-conversations sessions where you can come and meet our researchers and ask them questions about what they do. And they're aimed at sort of a slightly older audience. So the vast majority of the programme is family friendly, but the In Conversations with sessions are aimed more at people who have an interest, a particular interest, and would like to meet a professor in that area and find out more about what they do. But it's quite informal, so it's not a lecture, it's an opportunity to come and ask about these hot topics. So for example, we're looking at biomechanics with Professor Jim Richards. We've got a session on the science of breastfeeding and why that's a good or a bad thing, and why society goes and makes choices around that. And there's also a whole host of our research staff on the science show floor, where they've come up with interactive hands-on activities so that you can try out things that are coming out of the research, such as decision-making in rugby, which you might not think has got any science behind it.
Decision-making in rugby?
Yes. So you can try and score a try and see why you would make a particular decision and what's the psychology that's going behind that.
Maybe we should have had him helping the England team. Maybe he should have been out there in Brazil. So when you sit and plan the programme, what is it that you want to achieve at the end of the festival? What is it that will say to you, wow, that was successful?
We want people to have had a really great time, first and foremost, and then also just to maybe, as I was saying before, spark a bit of interest, or start a conversation, and just take sort of science out to people who maybe necessarily wouldn't think, I'm not interested in that, it's not really for me. Well, maybe part of it is, and here's different ways that you could look at it. But yeah, we want people to be inspired, excited and engaged, and to have a really great time, because it is really fun.
And this year I think you're doing something a little different also. Have you got some evening things happening which is for adults?
That's right. So as I said before, most of the programme is aimed at schools and families, but this year we've trialled 2 events in the evenings which we're selling tickets for. The first one, which is on Thursday the 26th, is the Festival of the Spoken Nerd, which is a travelling science cabaret stand-up comedy show. There are 3 performers. They're really well known. You might have heard them on things like The Infinite Monkey Cage on Radio 4. They've played at the Edinburgh Fringe, and they're going to perform a series of science songs, science jokes, stand-up comedy sets, science demos. There will be explosions, I'm assured.
There will be,
yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's taking place in 53 Degrees nightclub. And then on the Friday, we've got an event which is the science of cocktails. So this is a night out with a twist. Come along, enjoy 5 cocktails as part of the ticket price, but find out about the science of making the cocktail. So it's mixology, and we're going to look at colour chemistry and flavour, and also how to make a hangover-free cocktail, which is pretty
awesome.
Interesting. Yeah.
I take it you've been trying these out, have you, over recent weeks?
Oh, not yet. No, we're working.
It's a very tough job.
Yes, I love that, the science of mixology. Yes. So if you mix it and you get it just right, you've got the perfect drink and also no headache the next day. Well, that sounds lovely. The science of mixology. And also, is it right, you've got a zoo bus?
Yes.
Oh, yes. This is the brilliant Dr. Mike Leahy, who we've worked with before, literally has a zoo in a bus. He's got a great big red double-decker bus that he's converted, so you can go along. There's loads of animals and things that you can get really hands-on with and you can handle. They're all downstairs, and then upstairs he's got a little micro lab and microscopes that you can look in. It sounds really, really fun, and we've worked with Mike before, and he's a scream.
He's very entertaining. Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be I'd imagine there'll be a fair few people having a go in there. This one of them.
Just sounds so totally different to my days of Bunsen burners and porcelain sinks. couldn't be more different. It sounds so interesting. And on the couple of years that you've had, have you had feedback from the people that have been along? Have people fed back to you on the day?
Yeah, I mean, we like to kind of talk to people while we're there, and then we get feedback afterwards as well. But generally, we just get people kind of just saying thanks for such a fun day, and they've learnt something new, but they've had a really great time. And also, we do listen to our feedback. We didn't have Titan last year, and then we spent most of our time apologising for not having Titan, so Titan's back.
Right.
One of the things we got a lot of feedback about was having activities for younger children. So this year we've put on some activities that are aimed at under 5s. So we've got science face painting, we've got a science story time as well, and we've got lots of crafty activities. So children who are quite young can come along and do something that has a link to science, but is not so much about them learning something. It's just about them becoming more familiar with those topics. We're very aware that it's a real family audience, and we do try and cater for that. We have a pram park, we have baby changing, we have free lockers to put your picnics in.
It is a lovely way, though, isn't it, of engaging the family into science. It really is a nice way of bringing people in, having fun, but at the same time having a look at all the various, as you say, the way science touches our lives daily. So where is all this happening then?
Oh, it's at the University of Central Lancashire, Preston campus. We're taking over most of the campus. It will be signed with AA signage, free parking right across the campus as well. You shouldn't be able to miss it. But if you look at the festival website, which is lancashiresciencefestival.co.uk, you'll find a map, you'll find the programmes and plenty more details, and also ways to contact us through Twitter or email if you have any questions.
Brilliant. And it's taking place Thursday the 26th of June, Friday and Saturday, so 26th to the 28th of June. And the first year you did it, did you say it was just one day?
It was 3 days for the Guild.
It was 3 days,
yeah.
and then last year...
And then we went to one day just to see if you still liked it. And you did. So back to 3 days. People keep pressing us for a 4th day so we can have a whole weekend of it. But I think having everything on the Saturday is the right way to go at the moment.
Yeah, it
we'll
makes
see what comes back.
It's busy and it's vibrant, but it's really, really fun.
Brilliant. Well, I'm certain after the mixology sessions and the coloured drinks, etc., people will be wanting more. So again, just tell us about the website. Where can people find out more about it?
Just have a look at our website, which is lancashiresciencefestival.co.uk. There's all the information about there. You can book your tickets. You can buy your tickets for Festival of the Spoken Nerd and for the Science of Cocktails. And there's loads more information. And then there's also all our contact details, so you can get in touch with us if you need anything else.
Brilliant. Well, can I thank you both for coming in this morning?
Thank you for having us.
I don't know, it is science, isn't it? Modern technology.
Oh,
the fact
definitely.
that I can put your photograph on our Facebook page quite soon and people can see you in the studio.
That's right, yeah.
So can I thank you both for coming in this morning, and I'm sure it's going to be a success again.
Thank you. We'll see you there.
Yeah, next year 4 days. Thank you.
Thank you.
My eyes are Georgia. Oh, I never laid a hand on you. My eyes are Georgia. Like a million miles away from me, you couldn't see how I adored you. So close and yet so far. Carried your books from school, playing make-believe you're married to me. You were 5th grade, I was 6th when we came to be. Walking home every day over Barnacle Bridge and Bay, till we grew into me and you, who went our separate ways. My eyes are Georgia. Oh, I never laid a hand on you. My eyes adored you. Like a million miles away from me, you couldn't see how I adored you. So close and yet so far. Headed for city lights, climb the ladder up to fortune and fame. Work my fingers to the bone, made myself a name. Funny, I seem to find that no matter how the years unwind, still I reminisce about the girl I miss and the love I left behind. My eyes adored you. Oh, I never laid a hand on you. My eyes adored you. Like a million miles away from me, you couldn't see how I adored you. So close and yet so far. My eyes adored you.
Frankie Valli and My Eyes Adored You. And if you like Frankie Valli, well, the Jersey Boys touring the country at the moment, the award-winning musical Jersey Boys, watch out for it. I can't remember if it's in Manchester at the moment or about to arrive, and I think it comes to Blackpool. So the Jersey Boys, loosely based on Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. And big thank you to my guests there for coming in and telling us about the Lancashire Science Festival. That's Jenny and Joanna. And
Thanks for listening. We hope you've enjoyed the interviews as much as we have. Why not give us a tweet at Chat City BFM. You're listening to the Chat City interviews on 103.2 Preston FM.